Bringing it back out. This is the Blackbox by 1010 Music. It's been a minute since I've made music on this thing, but I was kicking it with a homie and he was showing me that weird Game Boy that also has a music tracker. It's not the Tracker Mate, it's something else. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, it reminded me a lot of the Blackbox because of the way I usually play the Blackbox. I don't normally have it on a table. I just kind of hold it in my hands and just use my thumbs with whatever I need to do, and it's actually really fun. But today I'm going to keep it on the desk and yeah, just make some music with it. I've been having some fun with it lately, and I still think it's one of the most slept on products, which I guess I'll get more into that later, especially when it comes for live performances. But let's kind of get into some jamming. Oh, and by the way, today's video is sponsored by Tracklib, not 1010, not a sponsored video by them at all, but it is sponsored by Tracklib, which, by the way, has just announced this dope new feature. Listen to this. This is actually really tight. Find a little loop, right? There's now this thing called beat. So I have the loop enabled, but if I go to beat, I'm amazing. I'm kidding. But this is actually really dope because you can go and kind of get a quick preview of what things are going to be sounding like when you go to work on them. For example, I really like this Bob James thing, and I thought that this would be kind of cool with some house music. Same thing, I can go to beat and go to house. Oh, and -1. There's even a ducking feature on here, which is really cool. If you're going to slam your track in an SP or just sidechain it against a compressor, right? Maybe 1-bar loop. So that feature is actually really helpful with something like this. And in case you're not familiar with Tracklib, they basically partner and team. I honestly don't know the science behind this, but they have a massive, massive catalog of just real records that exist. Like, what's nuts is I have on vinyl some of the tracks that they have here for you to download. And the way it works is you subscribe to it monthly, but you get a certain amount of credits every month that you can use to download these songs and do with whatever you want. And when you're ready to actually make the song, if you go to plans and pricing, right now it's at $5.99 a month, and you get 5 track downloads a month plus 2 featured tracks a month. But what's cool is once you're ready to release a song, you go into licensing, which allows you to license your track in collaboration with the original artist, who in some cases might not even be alive anymore, which is really cool because it's a good way to kind of give back. There's 3 different categories, C, B, and A. For $50, you split royalties, and depending on how many seconds you use of that track is how much you're going to pay them. For example, under 2 seconds, you just split royalties by 2%. Under 15 seconds, 10%. Awesome, super cool. I'm happy to say that I'm really proud of something like this, even though I have nothing to do with this. I'm just happy that this exists in the music world. So if Tracklib is something that interests you, be sure to use the link down below to get a free 30-day trial and 15 free credits, which is like 3 months worth of the subscription credits. And yeah, you can cancel anytime. So shout out Tracklib. All right, I'm gonna go back to my favorites here because I found a track earlier, and Tracklib also does this. This is the end of the sponsor segment, but Tracklib also does this cool thing where you can actually, if I go and listen to this song, I don't know how I found this, but listen to this. This is the whole track. Right, I was looking for some funk that I could flip into like a house track. There's so much going on here, but there's a piano way in the background that I didn't even know existed until I came down and found this piano. They can actually split all the tracks into independent stems. I don't know the witchcraft behind this, but listen to this. This is in that track somewhere. No idea where. But this is what I want. So I'm just gonna go ahead and download this track. Yep, download it. It's gonna take one of my credits. Boom, it goes there. And on the Blackbox, what I could do is I could just record into one of the pads, but because I want to explore what the Blackbox is going to do with auto detecting slices, I'm just going to drag and drop the entire track onto the SD card, which is super easy. You could just take the SD card while it's running. Hasn't crashed on me yet when I do that. And I just have like a little micro SD card reader here on the back. Let me just plug it in. All right, cool. Now let me go to my downloads. It's going to be here, the JP Walk. I'm going to open up a new Finder. go over to my Blackbox, Tracklib, downloads, and I'm just going to drag and drop that onto here. Easy. I'm not even going to eject it. I might be upsetting the internet right now, but it's okay. And then once I put it back into my Blackbox, easy, boom, load, up. It takes a second to read it all because it's kind of a big card. I think it's 64 gigs or 32 gigs, but once it's there, load, Tracklib, boom, right there, play. Oh, right, so there's a bunch of dead space in this. I'm gonna load it into here. It's gonna load. I could trim it if I really wanted. Like, all right, let me get rid of that dead space and let me zoom over or zoom out. Again, it's gonna take a second to load up this massive, how big is this file? 78 megabytes, yeah, so that's kind of a long one. Oh my God, it's 6 minutes and 46 seconds. Why did I do this to my black box? All right, so now that it's loaded, I'm not gonna take this entire sample because that's just gonna take way too long. Like, look, it's kind of bugging, actually. This thing is freaking out on me. I'm just gonna adjust the endpoint so that I can get a little closer to where I want to sample, because I just want to sample within this little section right here. So I'm gonna just keep dragging this over. It's gonna take a second, I'll cut this out. Oh man, I was wondering why it took so long to download the sample. So now that I've kind of set the start and end point where I want it to be, kind of want it to end there, and I'm gonna go to File, Trim and Save. It's gonna do this. Again, it's gonna take a second. It's just a massive file. It feels like the worst file to do this with. But now that we're here, we can go ahead and play this. Right, do I have anything going? I can clear this. I have just a kick. Right, that's fine. So I'm gonna go to slicer mode and I'm just going to hit scan. We can set our scan threshold to 25. Let's see what that does. I just wanna see what kind of weird happy accidents this ends up giving us. All right, so if I go to keys and I hit keys again, it's giving me a ton of slices over, oh my God, maybe 25 was too much. It's giving me 91 slices. Let's see. Yo, this actually did, this actually did incredibly well. Cool, awesome, this is great. So I'm gonna go here and I'm actually gonna set our step count to 64 because I want it, or 64 just because I want a longer sequence. If I hit record, there it goes. You can see it's starting to record there, and I'm going to turn that off and try to find a little. Oh, those are cool. Well, hold on. Where are we trying to go with this, right? Because this is, I can already tell I'm going to be very bored with this sequence later on. So maybe I'll kind of try and stick with what the original was, which is. Let's try it. Oh man, I already messed up. My bad. Undo. Here we go. So I can go back and edit that last little note in there. I think that note will work better. And I, of course, just love going around and pitching things. By the way, the new Blackbox update is incredible. Listen to this. That's cool. Activate that one. Awesome. And the way I kind of like using this, I like using the sequences per track because you can do some interesting things, and it also helps with just muting certain parts and bringing them back in. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this here, and I know I'm going to play this one in. Right, so pitch that down a little. I'm gonna high pass it. So I really like using high pass almost as a volume, because it helps really set things way in there, but I'm still gonna bring this down. Sequences, we're gonna launch this one. Okay, that's way too loud. Oh, right, I unmapped the volume because I was trying something out earlier that was weird, so let's see what we get here. Awesome, same thing, we'll turn the level down. And I want this to be a lot tighter, so I'm gonna go over to decay, turn our sustain down, maybe even higher pitch. That's cool. So I'm gonna go, oh crap, see I already messed up. I wanted to put the hi-hats there and this sample should have been up here. I'll just make this our new. Ooh, that's ugly. The reason that's so ugly is because if I clear that and we go and look at our step count and step length, I have it set to a quantize of basically a 32nd. So this is making it a lot harder to play on time, but I like doing this sometimes for more rhythmic hi-hats, but in this case, I'm not doing rhythmic hi-hats. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set this back down to a 16th, and I'm gonna set this down to a 16th as well. It's gonna be very boring, but you'll get the idea. Basically, I just wanna emphasize the up hat in this case right here, so. Oh my God, I just messed everything up. Undo that. We'll go here. See, I'm already getting confused because I keep putting things in the wrong spot. I meant to play this hi-hat. Same thing, lower that level. Right, so we can go to sequences, turn this off. Go to our sample, which is this one here. Go to our effects, maybe send this sample to oh, that's delay, we'll do reverb. Cool, not bad. Let's, I mean, it's a little cheesy, right? We can work on this a bit more. We can come up with something a little darker, but should we go darker or should we go baseline? Let's try something darker. So I'm gonna just turn that sequence off. I'm gonna go ahead and confuse myself a bit more and select this sequence here. It's set to a 16th. I'm gonna set it to a 32nd, 16 count, and I want to play. Does that work? There's so many good sounds in this sample. Yeah, that's kind of it right there. If we go back to our sequences here, let me go ahead and change this to a 30-second, 30-second. Quantize is set to a bar. Cool. That's cool. Now I'm gonna go to our effects here. What's crazy is I don't hear the reverb. Am I tripping? Because if I add reverb to anything else, do I hear it? Let's see. I don't. I must have the reverb going somewhere else. You know what? We'll be fine without the reverb for now. Let's just keep on moving. So I'm gonna turn the reverb down. And I'm gonna just turn the delay up. Yeah. let's move this around, right? Because we have an LFO. We can say, what's the source going to be? We'll set our source to an LFO. By how much? Dude, this is bumping. You know what I'm gonna do? So this is going through live. I'm gonna throw a drum bus on this real quick. Yes. Let's see what that LFO is doing right now. So it's saw, but I'm gonna say trigger every time it triggers, right? And we'll set this to random. Actually, you know what? I don't think the LFO is doing what I want it to do, because I want it to be jumping around randomly, but it's not. What if I set it's random like this? I mean, this sounds kind of crazy. I'm just trying to line up the rate. What if we set the rate to what the actual beat is? Yo, I could listen to this forever. Right, and then we got the different modes here. We'll bump up the empathy. That's what I want that hat for. It's a little loud, but you get the idea, right? So we'll say here, volume, and maybe even less. We just wanted to really emphasize the up hat. And then we can take the kick out. Dude, that drum bus compressor's kicking in hard right now. Yes, this is it. And there's not even a bass line yet. I am about to ruin it with a bass line, which I'll try my best not to. But if we go back here, we'll go to synth samples. We'll do SH tiny rave. That's kind of what we're having right here, right? Oh, this is not at all what we're having here. Let's not do that. Sure, we'll do this. But I need to edit the caca out of this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and sustain down. I love just decay. I know for things like this, I really like just using the decay with the sustain all the way down, but it sucks when it comes to playability because I can't do a bass line where it's like bum, 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 because there's no sustain. It's just going to go bum, 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 bum. But I kind of like that bouncy feel that this can create. So cool. I'm going to go down octave. I specifically chose an octave up because I like the way Blackbox stretches things down. Screwed up. I put that in with my kick drum. I'm gonna go ahead and undo that. We'll go here. I set this something weird. Sometimes the sequences on the Blackbox can get very, very, very annoying. So clear this. Let's see where I'm set at. Step lengths. Everything seems fine, right? But see, I can't play in that bump, bump, in that weird pocket that I want to land in. So in this case, I need to set the step length to 32 and the step count to 32. I'm not pro at the Blackbox. There could be a way easier way of doing this, but this is the way that I found that works for me. So I like that. Right. Same thing. We're gonna. let's see what happens if we pitch this down here, just down to 12. Oh, turn the volume up. Filter down. I don't like it now with the kick in there. So we gotta fix that. So that's here, info. I just want it to be here. Yo, this one's dope. Got completely lost in the sauce. I forgot I was even, hey, how are you? So yeah, I could be here for a hot minute. This loop is dope. I need to make sure I save this one. I'll do that in a sec though. But yeah, that's it really with the black box. Like I was saying at the beginning of this, I think the black box is super slept on when it comes to music production and playing live music. Actually, you know what? Let me take that back. I don't think it's slept on when it comes to music production, because you can do things like this, which is great. And a lot of people are doing that and using it the way it should be used. But I've done a ton of videos on the black box where how I use it live to play back stems or to do live looping. And I'll probably end up doing another video, kind of like I did the last one with the small setup over here, actually this video here. But instead of using the Octatrack, I can use something like the Blackbox, because you can track into it. You got quantized recording links and all this other fun stuff that allows you to just grab simple little loops or really long loops and keep everything moving in time. And when it comes to the pads, you can actually change how the pads get played back and their trigger configuration, like launch modes and stuff like that. And on top of that, this, like I showed you earlier where I dragged in that massive file, you can put full-blown stems on this thing. So when you're playing live, you can have a safety net living here. But the one thing that does kind of suck is you cannot use this consistently throughout a live set, because when you go to load another what's called preset, which is basically your set or your project with another 16 pads, it doesn't do it quickly or fast enough. So there is a little bit of a dropout of audio and it kind of tricks some sounds out. But if you got a bunch of other gear going, and this is kind of just serving a purpose of doing some like backing track stuff, this thing is super powerful. And I know a ton of people who are playing crazy live sets who majority of the time always have a black box with them if they don't want to bring live, because you can just think of this as kind of like your scene launcher or your clip launcher. But yeah, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed this one. I actually really did. Every time I do one of these, I get so scared because I don't know what the track is going to come out like, but this one came out dope. So again, shout out to Tracklib. Use that link down below if you want to check them out and get some dope samples like this one. And thank you 1010 Music. Aaron, if you're watching this, I appreciate you a lot. And the whole team at 1010, honestly, they did a great job with this. I need to check out that blue box. I have it here. I just haven't had time to check it out. But until then, you already know the drill, my friend. Share the love, share the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Peace. Let's jam.